Hi, boys and girls. Go ahead and take out your benchmark magazines and you're going to open up to page 20. We're going to be reading a story today called Peter the Wild Boy. And you're also going to need a highlighter because as I'm reading, I want you to make sure you highlight these words that I've already highlighted. These are your spelling words, the ones you've been practicing all week long. Abundant, communicate, uncover, used, usually, continued, adult, and refused. Today, as I'm reading, I want you to use context clues to help you figure out what these words mean. And in your Google Classroom assignment, you're going to write a definition in your own words for 5 of your spelling words. So you'll pick 5 of them to write a definition for. Let's go ahead and begin. Peter the Wild Boy. Some writers have suggested that James Matthew Barrie based the character Peter Pan in part on an actual boy. In 1725, a boy was discovered living in a forest in Germany. He appeared to be around 12 years old, walked on all fours, and climbed trees. He had apparently survived on the abundant vegetation in the forest. When the boy was found, he could not communicate and was frightened by people. News of this amazing discovery spread throughout Europe. Everyone was fascinated by this wild boy, as they called him, but no one could uncover his background. The boy captured the interest of England's royal family. They named him Peter. King George I took Peter to live in London with his daughter-in-law, Princess Caroline, who took over Peter's care and education. Peter's habits carried over from the wild. He stuffed food into his mouth with his hands, and not used to a bed, he usually slept on the floor. Princess Caroline hoped Peter would become an English gentleman. She hired a tutor to educate him, but he never learned more than a few words. After several years, Princess Caroline realized Peter would probably be happier in the countryside, so she sent him to live on a farm. He remained there until he died. He was around 70 years old. Writers and scientists continued writing about Peter. They thought of him as a boy of nature who never really became an adult. Many years later, J.M. Barrie may have had Peter in mind when he created Peter Pan, the boy who refused to grow up. Okay, boys and girls, go ahead and get to your Google Classroom assignment and go back and reread any of the sentences that contain these spelling words to help you know what they mean and to write your own definitions.